So 1 year ago, we started with Agromix to implement a new feature within Landfile, which is called Treefile, which is the feature that I will present you now. So today I will share with you, I have two objectives today. First objective is to give you an overview of the tool, of the app, and to explain how it works. And so you can ask any question you need to understand very good how it works and how you can use it with your group. And the second part is to share with you the best practices in group facilitation. That's what we learned the previous year. I would like to share it with you today, so you will be able to start your group with farmers or with technicians, and to be able to collect data and to be efficient in this part. So now let's go to the application first. So part one is the app. So first of all, I will go to the web application, but you have to know that we have a mobile application on Google or Android and iPhone, and I can show it later if you want, if we have time, but it's easier to show the web app. So first of all, on this page, you've got here the different groups to which you subscribe, the different farms you have, and this is a publication. And if I go on the app, we have created different farms here to store information and to share with partners, and we have created different groups. So here's some, this is a group we have in Spain, so which is partners of Agromix, so you will be able to find it. We've got also a group in in Belgium, which is handled by Jorun, a group for Europe, etc. So when you will join the application, you will come in this Agromix Treefile group. But if you go to groups, then you will find other groups related to this one, and I will explain to you how you can go through this group. So to explain to you how Landfiles is working. So first thing is you have a group. A group is composed of farms, and users are members of farms. So when you create a farm, you can have different rights: administrator, contributor, or reader. And you can invite a farmer on this farm, and he will be invited also within the Agromix group. In Landfiles, a publication is always carried by a farm, and attachment to a publication to a plot is optional. And a farm is capable of owning any number of plots, including none. So this is the general organization of Landfiles regarding the group, the farms, the users, and also the plot. A group is grouping farms, but also members, and you have different rights for the members. Anyway, you will be able to find this later if you need it, but also you can find it on the tutorial page on the landfiles.com web page. If you want to change the language, you can go to Edit Profile, so in the admin here, and Edit Profile, and then you can change your language. In the mobile application, the language is automatically detecting the language of your mobile phone, and then it will translate the tool. So today we've got several languages available. I go there. You've got all these languages: French, English, Catalan, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Dutch, Polish, German, and Serbian. Now I would like to switch to the tree species and cultivar database. So to find it, you have to click on the search bar and then on this button and browse to tree species and cultivar that match your needs. The database is loading, and here we've got a table with the different species in the database. Later we will set 25 lines per default. So you've got here all the first element of the database with all the common names, and if you are in another language, it will switch to your language here. You can switch also to another tab here with the tree characteristics and managerial roles and economics. And then you can use the filter option here to reduce the database or to target the species you want. For example, I would like trees between 1 and 30 meters with, I don't know, late or very late moment of leafing moment, growth speed like this. And if I search, then it will reduce the database, and then I can click to a space on a species and discover the species page. On this page you will see, so this is still in progress, but on this map you will see all the different observations. So we've got some observation here, but quite few, but we have observations here. We have also some pictures, and you can navigate also through the different characteristics and to see the cultivars. And then you can click, if you want, on this button, contribute to the database, to go on this page where you can select the farm, your farm here, for example, and then try to add a publication. So first you can add some pictures, you can change the date of publication, you can you can name a plot. So if you name a plot, let's try this one. We'll see. I will put test. You can locate it and add the description, and then you have some information that you can enter here, like plot size, soil texture, agroforestry on plot. If you click yes, then other fields will appear, like tree species on the plot, and I can select some, wood stock, age of trees, etc. So you can fill this this plot, confirm, this will save it, then you select it, and then you will be able to enter the different data of your observation. So this observation is relative to a specific tree that you observe, and so you can. So this is on this tree species because I was coming from this page, and then I can add other information like cultivar name, which is very important, tree species density, which is also important, produced from tree crop, organic, age of tree, a reference if you want, if it's coming from literature, for example. And we have always a small hint here to help you to fill the data. Then you've got the seed requirements: soil texture, plant hardiness zone, pH, the tree species characteristic, leafing moment, growth speed, years to first harvest, drought tolerance, water logging tolerance, and shade tolerance. Then managerial and economics with this data, and then cultivar characteristic with tree height, pollination type, etc. If you have a lot of data to upload, then you can send us this data and we will upload it for you. And here on this page, we explain how to proceed. We would like you all to test this upload here, this way of filling the form and then uploading the information, because every contribution is very important, and because we would like later to have much more contribution to populate the database. So as soon as you have entered a data, it will appear on this map and also in this table here. So it is really a collaborative agroforestry sharing platform with comparison. So you will be able later to find your data and to filter it to find your data, and to try the filter and see that is working fine.
Sorry, that was just from me, from Joe. I just had a question about, can we add new tree species, or is it only the species that are already in the database?
Only species in the database. So you can send us new species, but we need to add it from our side. Okay. So yeah, you can send it to us and we will add it.
Great, thank you.
You can also use the plain text search here. For example, I can write almond and I can find the tree species. Click on this one and go on the tree species page. Let's go to the groups, relative groups. So here you've got the different groups you are following. So this one, I'm following this group. That means that every observation coming on this group are coming on my home page, and I'll get a notification on my phone when a new observation is added to one of these groups. But there is also other groups here which are relative groups. So these are French group we started a few times ago, and we linked it to the Agromix group, so you can go and discover this group. So let's go, for example, to this group. No, sorry, I wanted to go to this one, the couvert végétal Champagne. Here you've got the message that this farmer shared, and you can have an automatic translation here based on the language you set on your profile. So, for example, here the translation is working, so you can now understand what he said. And if you go to the comments, also you will have here translation. You can click here, and you will have the translation coming. So do not forget, when you are on Landfiles, you can click on this farm or this plot here to see the details. Just to explain the context, this group is working on cover crops within vineyards. This is about 80 farms that have shared information about this during the past year. So if you go to this farm, Baptiste de Bac, then you can go to his plot. So if there is one plot, Léo Piron, you can go to all the comments and see all the history of this plot. Over 1 or 2 years. So he explained how he's doing the cover crops within vineyards. So you can really go from the beginning and read everything, and you will understand how he's working, what species he's using, etc. So this one is dedicated to cover crops, but some other are working on agroforestry. For example, you can have this one, l'arbre, la haie et la haie agricole. So this one are really speaking about agroforestry, and there is a lot of information, so you can explore it, and also you can comment and ask questions, and I hope they will answer, even it's not in French, but they can translate your questions, I think. So we would be happy to have your feedback about how these how these groups are interesting for you. If you can learn things from this group, etc. That will be interesting for us. Yeah, this one are related groups that are linked to Agromix group, and you can follow them. Then you will be able to receive the notification. Just I wanted to say something. If I go again to the sheet, we've got sometimes structured data like this one. These are data saved on a form. This one will be translated later because so it's not still available. We have to work on it, and later you will be able to see the translation of this data. So this one and the value relative to each data. This will be available later.
Maybe it's good, Nicola, to explain to the pilot teams what I can do. So many groups are existing on Landfiles, mainly in French, as it's been there already for a couple of years. And there's really interesting exchanges, not just on agroforestry, but also on mixed farming. So I think the pilots that have an interest or are connected to groups working on mixed farming could really benefit from browsing through the existing groups and the exchanges there in Landfiles.
Yeah, for example, this one, agro élevage. This one here is on mixed farming. So the title are not translated, but the content should be translated. There is a Spanish group here, if you want, and you can also explore it and navigate through the farms. Okay, thank you, Jorun. Let's see now how you can create a new group within Landfiles. So you can go to the groups page and click on new group. And then you will be able to create your group and to start the test. Once you have created the group, you have to ask us to activate the premium feature and to add the form, because we need to add the form, the Agromix form on your group for you to test the features. So please, when you are able to start the testing with your group, and when you have created the group, just inform us and we will activate the premium features and add the Agromix form on your group.
Yes, and if I can just add, we expect from every country to have at least one group started in that country, in order to enable the people of that country to test the opening up of a group and the group dynamic. So that's really necessary for every country to start a group. And you can organize, of course, on a country level if there are several pilots in one country.
Okay. Once you have created a group, then you can invite the member on your group. If I go to the edit group, then in members, you are able to invite the farmers of your network or technician people of your network to that group. So there are two options. First option is to write his email here and to set it to give him the guest right on the group. So just write the email, guest, and send the invitation. The other option is to invite by a link. So you've got here a link, you copy it, and you can distribute it per WhatsApp or per email as you want. And then the people joining the app will be included in that group, in your group. Not forget to send a welcome message on the group so they will discover this welcome message. So on a group, you've got a tab with the farms. So here, if I go here, I've got all farms of my group on my group are here, and you can navigate then through the farms. 3 ways to add a farm on a group. So when you're creating a farm, you can add it to a group. On the group administration page, and when the farm publish on the group for the first time, then automatically it will be added to the group. So that's what I explained, how to use this invitation to the group. The way to do it is to come here, admin, then handle groups. Here is your group. You click on edit and then member. And on the right, there is add a member. Okay, this is the administration of your group. This is the mobile application. You've got a home page with the news, so everything which is happening on your group will come on this page, and then you can switch to groups, and under group you can find your subscribed groups, but also the related groups. Yeah, and you can go on a group and navigate through the farm or through the post. Then you can find your farms and navigate through your farms. That means create a plot, administrate your farm, and add observation. But I'm sure it will be easy for you, so I won't add anything more. So it's very easy to use the mobile application. If you need any help, just ask us. You can also add the search feature to search farms, plot, and observation. But on the mobile app, it's not yet possible to search for species. So I would like to warn you about this because it's not available now. And the search of species is only available on the web application. And if you think it could be very useful and very important to have it on the mobile application, then you can write it on the report, on the questionnaire. But today it's not available, so I wanted to warn you about it. To create a new farm on the mobile app, then you go to My Account and you can click Add a Farm. You can add a farm and then invite the farmer on the farm. But if you just invite the farmer, his farm will be automatically created when you will join the application. So no problem. It's not a mandatory action. It's just if you want to add a farm to be also able to store information on that farm. Thank you. So I hope this was clear. You can ask any question if you want.
The slides, but we're also discussing the possibility of developing a short crash course on how to start the group with condensed guidelines for group facilitators. So that's in the pipeline as well.
Yeah.
And of course, all the slides, including mine, will be available after this meeting.
I mean, a set of simple instructions would be, like 1 page of instructions of the process would be useful, I think. And just
okay.
Question, I mean, to what extent, do you want the farmers to sort of put in true information? I mean, are we just testing the app and seeing how well it works and where the bugs are and whether it's got the right information or it's too complicated? Or are you using this to actually collect proper farm data? And, because you can test the app without sort of putting in perfect data, as it were.
Yeah, I think the objective is to include farms and real farmers, and to collect data from these farms, but real data also. Yes, that's the objective, because we would like to use your pilots teams to integrate real information about species observation. Is that correct, George? You confirm?
Yes, it's both actually. So we want to test the app, and we want to fill the database with context-relevant information. And so, that was actually one of the main ambitions of this co-development, is that we give, or we collect context specific and relevant information for farmers in a similar context across nations. But that's, yeah, it's very, very much both goals, both to test the app. And so please don't use fake data anymore. That's a phase we've gone through. And I think all the fake data that have at one point been entered are out now. So we construct the database right now with real data. But to be specific on the form, so there's a form that you can, the observation form, and you don't have to fill all the fields. So not all the fields are compulsory in that observation form. So if you just have a very nice picture of an agroforestry scheme, and you can add some observation, like, for instance, I did this kind of hedge laying technique or whatever, or this kind of design with these two species or with this species, then you can enter it and you can just post an observation on that innovation, and it will be entered in the database when the search, when people search for that species. So any kind of innovation and observation related to a certain tree species is relevant for the database and will show up if you filter the database.
If you want to go to the Landfiles webpage, then you will find on tutorial the different tutorials. So how to publish, how to create a group, etc. So yeah, do not hesitate to explore these tutorials if you need it.
I have a question for you.
Yes, Francesca.
You told about the first evaluation round. That was the work of first translation on the observation form. Is that the translation that we have to do with the group, our team of farmers, or is a structural translation that you still missing in the chat? You wanted us to translate in our language the form?
Yes, that's true. That's the observation form. So it's a work that you can organize on a country level to share the workload. The Italians are many in this meeting, so it could be a very, very light workload for you guys. But that's a preliminary work that has to be done. And once you've translated that observation form, so Nicola sent you a mail with all the details on how to do it in every language. Then if you finish that, from the Landfiles site, they can put it in online the same day. So there's no delay in if you made the translation, it can be effective in the app the same day or later the same day. So that's the first step indeed to see to start before testing the app, that the translation of the observation form and the tree species is verified by a native speaker.
What language is it in at the moment?
You don't have to do anything, Anil. It's in English. So it's okay. English and Latin, of course.
How do we organize the work? Because there are many Italian teams, and in order not to do the same thing many times, we should just manage to distribute the work, or how does it work, this work distribution?
Well, I proposed all the Italians in this meeting know each other, or they have a way of knowing each other. So I propose to keep the internal organization of who does what on a country level outside this meeting, as we still have to discuss some other topics, if that's okay for everyone. Then, Nicola, propose you proceed with the,
Okay.
the remaining.
So we can go now to part 2 of the training.